news and better news involving a team outside of the Lions. You called it. Fichtner, gone. Tom Bradley, gone.
Yeah, 3 big moves today. To the 2 big ones on offense. Randy Fichtner was in charge of the offense for 3 years. Sean Surratt in charge of the line for 2 years. Both those guys, not much of a surprise when you look at it. Randy actually got off to a great start in 2018. I think they were 4th in the league in total offense, 6th in scoring. But when you look at it this year, I think they were 25th in total offense and not much better in scoring. And it just went downhill really, really fast. And he was really never able to recover, from the last 2 years.
Most of the players and coaches, they got to walk by me after the game to go to the parking lot. You ought to, that's another commentary. And Tom Bradley during the offseason, he said, yeah. And he had that look on his face, so maybe he knew then. But what was his problem? A lot of the guys were, injured or whatever.
Yeah, listen, Bill, he's been there since 2018. He had 3 years on the staff, and I don't think it was anything that he did. The defense was really, really good for the most part. But as you know, they hired Terrell Austin at the beginning of the 2019 season, and Tom and Terrell kind of split the duties. One coached the safeties, one coached the corners. So maybe it's going to be Austin who's coaching the DBs next year.
Tom was my go-to guy at Penn State because, try and get Charles Manson on the air than Jopa. So I always had Tom Bradley on to give me a preview of, your game with Michigan and all that. He was always available. And he's been on these airways a couple of times. I thought when Pitt was looking for a coach, he would be ideal, But, he had that West Virginia background because he was down there for a while, Same with Doc Holliday, who should be having a job right now. So I don't know. Maybe nice guys do finish last. I have no idea. There was a report about maybe, I don't think it was from you, I don't know, the guy that they might give a year extension to the defensive coordinator. Have you heard anything about that?
Well, they're discussing all that stuff right now. It wouldn't surprise me if Keith Butler returned for another season if he wants to. I think Keith is 65. If he wants to come back, I think they'll have him back. Tomlin split the play calling duties there. Keith coordinates it during the week, but on game days, Mike is calling a lot of the plays himself. So I guess it would, if Keith wanted to come back under those circumstances, I think they would have him back. But, as we discussed with Tom Bradley, I don't think there are any major problems on defense. Tweak here, tweak there. Yeah. You obviously don't want to give up 48 points in a home playoff game, but other than that one kind of screw up there, I thought the defense overall was pretty strong in 2020.
Yeah, I wonder if the team's doctor, Jim Bradley, went into Artie's office and said, "Are you firing my brother? Are you firing my brother, Artie?" Because, I think Jim maybe opened the door for Tom. There's nepotism everywhere. My business, your business, football, whatever. But I was a little bit surprised when I heard you broke the story on one of the Pittsburgh outlets. Sean, I know. Fichtner. Now, everybody seems to know who doesn't cover the teams like we know because everybody's an expert now. You know what I mean?
I know.
I'll tell that to anybody who disagrees with me, then we can meet for coffee and discuss it. Everybody knows what's going to be happening, like with Ben. But I think with Randy gone, could that change Ben's mind a little bit? Because Randy was his guy. His guy is no longer going to be there.
Well, Bill, there are 22 million reasons for Ben to come back. And I don't know if learning a new offense or trying to get along with a new coach is going to be a deterrent to that decision. Hey, maybe he's got enough money in the bank. Maybe he'll leave that money on the table. But, Bill, you know better than anyone, you could only make life-changing money once during your life when you're a professional athlete.
Yeah.
And that time is when you're still playing. So I have a hard time believing 2 million big ones on the table just because he doesn't know who's going to be coaching him next year.
And then another thing, he doesn't want to be remembered as the guy that looked awfully bad in the last game that he told the world, hey, I can do it.
Right.
Of course, if he comes back and shows the world he can't do it, maybe, whatever. But you're right, 22 million reasons why. You know what? I got it, Ray. You ready? I just bought 2 more lottery tickets. One for 750 and the other for 680. If I win one or both, I'm going to give $22 million to Ben and say, get the hell out of here.
How about give half to me?
Yeah, I'll give you a couple bucks.
Yeah. Okay.
All right? And I'll give your son $1 million if he gets rid of all of his Yankee stuff and wears Red Sox stuff. So
I don't know if that's going to happen.
I already owe $1 million to Lola, so she can get the hell out of here, okay? Yeah, I'm going to make a lot of friends if I just win one. I'll hear from my relatives who only call me when they need Steeler tickets or Penguin tickets. So, by the way, I'm not renewing. This is my last team. I'm not renewing. I said goodbye to the Penguins a long time ago, but I gave them to a lot of my clients, you know, the mom and pop radio stations in the tri-state area, so they can give them out on the air. So I do some good. You know what I mean?
I know.
All right, you got any more good stuff for us?
No, check back in next week. We might have some more news, but as of right now, hopefully it's done for the day.
You have any idea how much Urban Meyer's got? $10.25. Remember watching Batman back then? They would have pow, zoom, boom. Well, we have zoom today. All right.
Yep, I remember it.
You remember that? Did you like that?
I don't know that I thought one way or the other about it.
You know what I thought was silly? Maybe you'll agree with me. Lost in Space. Even Star Trek. Most of the monsters, we know, were guys in costumes and stuff. It only lasted.
Styrofoam boulders.
Yeah. I fell for all that stuff, you know. I
Well,
thought
we were
that-
supposed to as kids.
But when, what's his name? James Arness was like a vegetable. And then they burned him up and it showed him shivering. And it was just a small gentleman that they showed. It was like two actors. But you know, I never realized until like 10, 15 years later that was the guy that won an audition over William Conrad for the job as Matt Dillon. I could tell you why William Conrad, who was probably the reason why he didn't get the job, he was not in shape like, I gotta be careful how I say this, he wasn't in shape like. Brother was who, Lola?
I don't know.
The lead guy on Mission Impossible with the white hair.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember his name, but
Yeah, I just see him a lot. I watch the old ones of Mission Impossible too. I still watch Perry Mason. No wonder Perry won a lot of those cases. He knew what the hell he was doing.
he had good writers.
Yeah, very good writers. Very good writers. All right, so your Lions finally got a GM. The Steelers are making news like Mike Tomlin. You know what? I really didn't have to listen to Tomlin yesterday because he said the same damn thing he said the last 2 years after being exit one game out in the playoffs. What do you expect him to say? He don't know what to say. Well, you can't get into the facilities. I don't know if it's open today. He still has to have exit meetings with his players. Edmonds is gone. I wonder how his brother feels about that. But you know what? Stay tuned because a lot of look Steelers next year. Even if Ben says, you know what, I'll make a deal with see that happening. But his man is gone, Randy Fiegner. You want to work for another offensive coordinator? You may not know. Might be a younger guy. Might be another Haley, you know. Tom Bradley, I'm a little bit disappointed. But he's got a nice resume. He'll get a job somewhere. Urban Meyer, they're still finalizing a total deal with Jacksonville. I'm saying between $8 and $10 million a year to get this guy. He's 56 years old. He's had some health issues in the past, stressed out with college football, unless he starts the season 0-6. He's got three. Two with Florida, one with Ohio State, national titles, and he's a good guy. 187 wins, 32 losses over 17 years, 4 different colleges. And he's worth $1 zillion.
The 16th, handle Mardi Gras.
Yeah, I don't think people will be sick.
Street. Yeah. Did you see the riot mess in Tuscaloosa?
No.
After they.
Oh.
Well, I mean, not.
After Alabama won?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a riot like what happened at
It was
the
a
Capitol.
huge group gathering.
Oh, was it? I mean, it was like blocks.
Yeah, but Mardi Gras, you know, they're already wearing masks.
Yeah, but you can try social distancing.
Have you
in
ever
that.
been to one of those?
Not Mardi Gras, no. No. I was there for the national championship when it was LSU and who? LSU and
I don't know.
Alabama, maybe.
Might have been, yeah. How long ago was that?
A long time ago now, because it's when we were down there for.
Was Saban there, the head coach of LSU?
I don't know.
Okay.
We didn't go to the game. We were there for the Lions Saints playoff game.
Oh, that's why you hate the Saints, because of New Orleans, right? You don't like the Saints at all, do you?
No. I didn't like them before.
Okay.
But
So if Drew Brees walked in here, you wouldn't give him a hug?
Can't hug anybody. It's COVID.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Okay. All right.
Got out of that one, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. I know you wouldn't even look at Kevin Costner if he walked in the door, huh?
I would wave at him.
Oh, okay. Okay. It's a nice wave. All right. We got more Steeler talk coming up. And start out as friends. We used to go nose to nose about silly little things because we were silly old guys back then 20 years ago. Jim Wexell will be with us. And after that, Greg Brown will be with us. And then after that, I can't read my writing. Ryan Tucker from West Banco. Okay? We are the variety show. Bill, Lola, AM 1600. I'll say it again. We're positively entertaining.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company.
Something so real about living local, and I know without a doubt I'm not alone. And I'm loving living local. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. Circle, WTRF is working for me. The Ohio Valley is where I love to be.
Now's a good style, and RAV4 is available all-wheel drive in gas or hybrid models. Now get up to $1,000 cash back from Toyota.
Schedule.
It's really what plans look like, but the bottom line is it's not accessible for all.
State School Board passed a measure on Wednesday that allows for remote in elementary and middle school. Now, despite the state board's decision, Berkeley County is sticking the course with remote learning for all students, at least until teachers can be vaccinated with both of the COVID-19 shots. Montague County students are also expected to stay. AJR this morning said next week's too soon to put everybody in the same building. They will seek a waiver from the state board to allow for distance learning.
It'd be great for me, but you'll be out of money in a year. You'll blow it all.
Well, you know, I'll give some away.
Somebody will knock.
Surrounded by what weapons I own, and I'm going to hire 24-hour security.
They're gonna. I mean, you know, Tomlin's not going to fire himself. That's Tomlin's defense.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Oh, there's been reports that Tomlin calls the plays. Butler calls him, and Tomlin used to overhear Dick LeBeau. Interrupting is not the right word. Obtrusive, bothersome, pain in the butt.
Yeah.
And then when Dick vents all to Dick. But, I mean, the head coach still hears everything on the headphone. But I don't see guidelines. I know he's got his Lone Ranger mask on, but...
Can we compare what Troy went through, the way it was handled and everything, to what could happen with Ben?
I think you can. I think you have to.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of you last night. I said, I got to ask Jim this question because of the great book and your knowledge and spending a lot of time with Troy. So, yeah, this reminds me of that.
Well, it's only reminiscent of Troy because of the status of the... Tomlin looked like he lost because Bud went down late in the game. Yeah. And the realization that Bud was out made them all sick. It was a punch in the gut to all of the surprise that they lost 5 of the next 6.
Villa safe or none of them safe?
You know, Villanueva might want to walk on his own. I don't know. I know Castro was talking about Villanueva. So you got the third party taking 5. Who knows? 10%.
Yeah.
How much do I have? And I'm the guy that paid to get the books built.
Yeah.
And sell them over the internet and keep on.
Photographed drinking in a bar while flashing white power signs and being serenaded with the anthem of the Proud Boys. While police found no violations of his bond, they alerted prosecutors they want him stopped from associating with known militia members or white supremacists and prohibited from displaying gestures associated with those groups. He's charged in the shootings of 3 men during protests.
Treatment of minor illnesses and injuries, wellness visits and physicals. There's also a lap draw station open from 8 to noon weekdays. A division of Wheeling Hospital, the Woodsdale Health Center is led by family physician 4-234-1970.
Hello everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster with a look at your local weather forecast for your Thursday. Sunshine, daytime high near 43. Overnight low down to sunshine mixing before some scattered showers moving to the forecast.
Kind of a threesome, no doubt about that.
By the way, did you read, sorry to interrupt you, you can suspend me if you want.
Yes, yes.
Andy Gunner introduced me, who was a Philly guy. Former
Harry
baseball.
Callis?
Not Harry, Richie Ashburn.
Richie Ashburn, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Brian,
yeah. A long-time play-by.
Broadcast booth preparing for a game?
He did, in Washington, D.C., in the chair.
Yeah. Boy, what a way to go.
In the chair, before the game against the Nationals.
You know, if I died here right now, Lola would say, let's get another host.
Well, what would you expect her to do?
I expect a teardrop or something.
Well, that could come later, but the show must go on.
That's right. I don't want to. I don't.
Out of the chair and get someone in there who can fill the role.
Yeah.
So, if she cried, she'd short out the board.
Yeah.
If that were to happen. So
yeah, I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about Bob Prince, but I had this on my mind driving here, other than who the Steelers are going to cut or whatever. I was thinking, who named Bob Prince and worked in Pittsburgh?
Well, I mean, growing up, and where my brother.
Outside of Pittsburgh, Greg.
Oh, yeah, I thought you said in Pittsburgh.
No, outside of Pittsburgh. I'm
sorry. Boy, outside of Pittsburgh, I was not. We've already mentioned his name, Harry Callis. I was not a fan of his because I hated the Phillies. But I appreciated how that was someone that, you know, who I would like to have had a coffee with, Paul Harvey.
Wow.
He did a daily or weekly syndicated 5-minute show.
Because in Pittsburgh, I don't know which station it was I was fired. I think I was fired at all of them. I think it was Cake.
Okay. Well, that's a great lead-in. My gosh, what an audience he had.
And then I would follow, this is Howard Cosell on Howard Cosell, and then Bill DeFabio comes on with a sports update. So I'm sure a lot of people turned that dial. They turned that dial. I don't want to hear him after Howard.
Oh, you kidding? If they hadn't turned the dial, it's going to turn it.
I was a big Cosell fan, man. I was a big. I thought you would say Vin Scully.
Yeah, you know, again, growing up in central Pennsylvania, we didn't have cable television. Football, basketball, baseball, a little bit of hockey.
Where'd you grow up? What part? Outhouses or electricity? Or?
It wasn't that bad, Bill, but it was close. My backyard was just a cow farm, basically.
Okay.
And all my buddies, I walked probably a half mile to 3/4 of a mile to Civilization, where my buddies lived in a development, and they all were Philly fans, Flyer fans, and whatnot. So most of the sports I watched were in their house. It was mostly, you know, we didn't really have access to Vin Scully, other than maybe Mike and some national broadcasts. It's not like I listened to Dodger games growing up. I listened to whatever I could get on the AM radio. KDKA, KMOX in St. Louis, KYW in Philadelphia. Those were the WBAL in St. Louis. Again, it was Milo and Lanny in Pittsburgh, Harry Callis in Philly, and so those were my guys. But I used to listen to Paul Harvey. I was fascinated by his. It was a news show, like a 5-minute, incredibly well produced. I think it was called The Rest of the Story. Paul Harvey. Good day.
You know, I've done a lot of stupid things in my career. Almost spent $500 to attend. The thing is, it wasn't really as than that, and you had to buy a tape recorder. To Career Academy.
Oh my gosh! So did you do it?
No, actually, when my dorm was behind Fenway Park.
Oh my gosh!
By the way,
about that.
My dorm used to be a hotel for the visiting the 30s and 40s.
Yeah.
One of the rooms, there's a plaque, and I wanted to steal it, but I wasn't in that room. Lou Gehrig slept here.
And you wanted that plaque too, but you didn't.
No, I wasn't scheduled to be in that room on the 3rd floor of Levitt Hall. So that'd have been a nice collectible.
You know, while we're talking about ideas, I just thought of another one, and maybe Lola can chime in as to whether she thinks this works. The more Bill tells us about these stories, cartoon character, if he has someone who could just draw a kind of a around in this, it doesn't have to be a well-produced cartoon.
Be careful, I got a dump button.
You can envision him across. He walks into the hall, the dorms, room, or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
He sees a plaque.
Yeah.
He looks around. This is a cartoon character.
Yeah.
And he runs and he gets a screwdriver. He tries to take it off the wall, and here comes Chuck. And so now little Billy he goes, his shoulders shrugged, hands back in his pockets, kind of floor as he's kicked out of the dorm.
Yeah.
Well. Oh, Mike, that sounds so good. And we're telling it.
Yeah.
I wish I could draw.
Yeah.
Little Billy.
Yep.
There's got to be someone around.
You want to hear my Newport Beach story? Super Bowl 14? 13.
Will
13.
it fit this scenario we're talking about?
It was Super Bowl
Will it
14. It was Super
Billy,
Bowl 14, Newport Beach, which is, I couldn't even afford to sleep on the streets because it's an expensive city. I decided I'm going to check out John Wayne's resident, okay? I found it, thanks to the cabbie. I had to make a deal with him because it was expensive going from where we were staying to Newport Beach, where he lived. And I thought about it, but my pockets weren't big enough to take home John Wayne's mailbox.
Oh, I was going to ask if it had a plaque, a mailbox.
Wouldn't that been something?
Yes.
Yeah, baby.
See the things that go through your mind? Like, I would never have thought of lifting John Wayne's mailbox.
Why? He can afford another one. He can afford another one. But I like John Wayne. The thought process crossed my silly mind, and that's it. But I got a lot of pictures.
We got to think of a better name for this cartoon than Little Billy. The Adventures of the Trials and Tribulations of Little Billy.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. I'll buy it on DVD if it comes out. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. But I would have loved to meet. Well, I did meet him briefly, Harry Carey.
Oh yes, I did. I met him. As a matter of fact, I don't know if I've told you this, but this is it had to be maybe early '80s, I guess, 1980s, and I don't know how long Harry had been doing Take Me Out to the Ball Game. That was a relatively new idea, but where he sang "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" phone so that the fans at Wrigley Field could hear it. It's not like he did that his whole career, and that was kind of a new phenomenon around baseball that kind of took hold. Not too long after he became the Cubs broadcaster in 1982.
Yeah.
Before that, he was at the White Sox, he was with the A's, the
Cardinals?
St. Louis Cardinals,
Yeah.
St. Louis Browns. Yeah. So he started doing this, and so this had to be around the mid-'80s, and it just kind of getting some national attention. And I put on my promotional hat. I was working up in the press box, actually in the sound room, and I'd be willing, if we got you a mic, stretch, take me out to the ball game here at Three River Stadium. We want to get a microphone in here for you.
Yeah.
And he said, well, let me think about it. And a little bit later on, he came back to me. I called the Cubs. They said, no, I can't do it. Yeah. So
who had the better-looking sports jacket, Lindsey Nelson or Bob Prince?
Oh, boy. And, well, whose idea was it first? Did Prince copy Nelson or did Nelson copy Prince?
I don't know. I can't ask either one of them.
As Steve Blass says, they're both in the box.
Ooh, I like that.
When
Who's the one that said holy?
Away, he's in the box.
Yeah, who's the one that said holy?
Harry.
What did Mel Allen say?
How about...
Rip me more, so... I'm really upset that you've ripped me a new tune here. You and Lola.
It's not ripping you a new tune. It's actually... this is endearing you to the audience. This is... We're looking for ways for you to make money. Adventures of Little Billy?
Yeah. That Clemente plate would be worth on eBay?
See, those... Now I can... What we could do is do the Adventures of Little Billy.
Yeah.
Here he is. He's trying to remove the plate. This is the cartoon. And he's caught... every time he gets caught, by the way, before he can actually lift it. Now, on occasion, maybe he does get away with it, and we'll have to take a look at your sports room. But then we'll do those bubbles. We'll do a current Bill DeFabio where he voices over these moments.
Yeah.
And then we'll do those little bubbles that they do for cartoons. Imagine what they would be on eBay.
Yeah. You imagine what John Wayne's mailbox would be worth?
See, there we go. We got to write this stuff down.
Yeah.
I've got tears
You all right,
running
Lola?
down my face.
Yeah. There is tears running down here. Oh, yeah.
She's already thinking about you being in the box. Tears are running down her face.
Oh, don't say that. I might leave here and die on the way home, you know? Yeah.
We don't know what we got.
But seriously, I hope to have you. I hope to have you in the studio for a couple hours in February because at first I said, why can't he do the show instead of Bill?
You tell them because I have no chance of understanding anything that Bill does. Bill understands the radio business way better than I, and I just like to follow along and shoot the
message.
You know what I mean? No.
We know. We get it.
Shoot
Greg.
the breeze. Shoot the breeze.
Greg, when you hang up, think about this. Boy, if he wins, if I win $750 million in the lottery ticket, I don't know if I'd buy the Pirates, but you won't have to work anymore.
Okay, now is this you speaking or me? We'll put that in the air bubble too, by the way. Whatever you call that thing in the cartoon.
I would love to be a cartoon character because you know I'm a character.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. By the way, I'm not kidding about John Wayne's mailbox.
I know that. Well, it helps that it's truthful, but if you want to fudge the truth a little bit to tell the cartoon, that's okay too.
And I had thoughts because I was at Ellis Island. Boy, how can I have that statue in front of my front yard?
Someone around that we could get to so as you recite.
I will tell you
This
this.
is the beginning of it. All I want to be is executive producer. That's all I want.
Well,
I
I will
credit.
tell you this because I didn't know how to haul it from Latrobe. There's an antique store in Latrobe about 3 miles before you get to the Steelers complex. Huge KFC bucket, okay? Next to it was the Eaton Park LB boy, whatever, the big boy, holding out the... I wanted to put...
This again. All these things you wanted to steal.
Yeah.
This is perfect.
I wanted to steal the golden arches and put them in my front yard, but I was afraid people would pack my driveway. Can we have a Big Mac, please? You know.
Wow. This is perfect.
Hey,
this is better than I thought.
There's a reason why they call me Silly Billy. Now they just
the
call...
Adventures of Silly Little Billy.
Boy, I love it. I represent that. I'm looking at your faces. There's just no way you can say anything. I can. And I love Bob Nutting. I really do. Super Bowl, talking about everything. Man, I understand that. There's a reason why he's worth a couple $100,000 or a couple $billion. He can hire me to manage his team, baseball team. All right, whatever.
You could probably do that.
Oh yeah, I can't do any worse, can I? They can
now.
only get better too. They're like the Nailers. They can only get better. And I feel so. He hasn't taken your job, has he, Josh?
Not yet.
He's got to worry where the players go, where they eat, and everything. And then he's got to do the game in his office on the road from a TV monitor. And I can hear him in Washington with his big mouth. But that's enough. Yeah, we all got to get done when it's not normal. When it's normal, we can get a little bit serious about life, But everything's crazy. Everything's nuts. Yeah. I'll take care of you guys if I win $750. Lola figured out maybe I'd get half of it for cash. I don't know.
I'd still take it.
Anything over a million's good. Well, actually, I need $3 million to pay off some people. Promises on the air.
Okay.
Hey, I get for a year. When are you going to get Lola the banana split?
Well, banana split times 365. You over that much.
Yeah.
However the cost of that is.
What is that?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Now listen, you're supposed to be in my corner. You're giving me $3.95? Come on.
The banana split was 6 something, okay? Let's leave it at that. I want to get her a McRib, but the place in Washington where I stopped to get my coffee didn't have it. By the time I thought of the McDonald's in Highlands, I was past
I don't
it.
think they've got them out anymore.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Well, that's why they didn't have them.
Oh, you think that's funny?
Yes.
I just think you're funny. You're just one of those guys. I can't help it.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, he's a